Now, this is the energy that you're coming in with. The moon, uncertainty, confusion, blocking the intuition, needing to make a choice here on how you are going to follow your path. Now, for me, when I look at this card, I immediately think that the intuition is being blocked. And you need to really start paying attention to your dreams and information that may be coming into you. You have to be open to the messages that are coming through because it can help guide you through the situation of the Five of Wands. Now, what is crossing you? The Six of Swords. And, it makes sense because looking at the Five of Wands, yeah, you're wanting to step away from that conflict. Anywhere but here is the feeling with this card. You need to move away. You need to move away from the conflict that is surrounding you so that you can have better scenery. So, already there is this feeling with the month of March that there's confusion, there's uncertainty, there's needing to move away from the issues that may be going on with competition that is around you. But, there's still hope here between the moon and the Six of Swords. But again, with the Five of Wands, you need to not fear the competition that may be around you. But if somebody else is creating this for you, yeah, there's definitely a need to move away from it. Now, your conscious mind, the Four of Wands, celebration. So that is what you're looking to achieve in the month of March, which is great to see. But there's, the difference there between the 4 and the 5 is like working together and celebrating the work that's been done. But the 5 is suggesting that there's just no agreements happening. Nothing is working out the way that it should be, the way that you're wanting it to be. Because, again, here there's still more work to do, but you're celebrating what you've accomplished already. And this is what you're hoping to achieve for this month. But there's some blockage going on, and it's creating this feeling of needing to get away from it. And then on top of that, there's confusion. Confusion on how to attain that. Confusion on how to deal with the conflict that's going on with the Five of Wands. So your subconscious mind, 10 of Wands. So there's a feeling here of being overwhelmed, carrying that heavy burden. It's like, I almost feel like this has to do with, the relationships that are going on in your life right now, seeing the 5 and the 4, right? If this is people that you're working with or the relationships that you're having with people around you, things aren't working out the way that you're intending them to with the 4 of Wands. And here you are carrying way too much. Way too much. It is time to drop that load so that you can move forward. And, there's this feeling here of you've done so much. You've done so much stuff. You've spread yourself way too thin, and you may have been doing it for other people. And now it's time to drop that so that you can move forward. And it's no wonder with the Six of Swords sitting there. I mean, yeah, if you're carrying all that, carrying the burdens of others, or even the things that you've put on yourself, yeah, I'd want to move away from that too. And with the moon sitting there, it's like, damn it, why didn't things work out the way that I planned them to? And the subconscious mind is like, hey, we need to drop this. It's too much. It is too much. And the Six of Swords I see helping you right now. Because even though things aren't working out the way that you're expecting them to, you can't continue to carry that load. It's time to move away from it. And in the past, the Six of Wands. So here, and it makes sense, man. You guys got a lot of that fire energy going on. This being the culmination of February, it feels like, here you've done some work that you were being recognized for. And it's like here you were trying to continue it and have that celebration of the work that you've done. But with the Five of Wands, it's like things didn't work out exactly the way that you expected them to. It's like you pushed forward a little bit too much. Just a little bit too much here. And again, there's this feeling here of being applauded for the work that you've done and being recognized for it. You've done the right thing. But here, the warning is that you need to be humble. You need to be humble and grateful for the recognition of the work that you've done. Because if you're not, that's where it leads into the Five of Wands. You're pushing forward, but things aren't working out. You may be like overly asserting yourself, and now there's this conflict where you were hoping to have more celebration of the work that you've done. Now it's too overwhelming. And there's confusion. Like, I don't understand. I did the right thing and I was being recognized, and now I'm moving forward, but it's just not happening the way that I expected to. And again, the Six of Swords to me is like what will be helping you right now, or for the month of March, needing to move away from that, needing to move away from conflict, and maybe stop pushing so damn hard to get to that feeling of the Four of Wands where you're celebrating. Your next move, the Eight of Swords. Now, seeing this to me in this position is saying that you need to release yourself from old patterns and old ways of thinking. This is being stuck. This is having fear of moving forward, fear of new pain. And you can't do that, especially with the Six of Swords, because, the whole point there is not to carry that crap with you. It's supposed to be a time of healing. But, your next move is saying that you need to release yourself from those binding situations that are just keeping you in these same patterns of conflict and feeling like you're being overwhelmed. My goodness, Aries. Okay, so now how you view yourself and how others view you, the Seven of Swords. Now, to me, this is like, I almost feel like there may be people around you that are looking at you right now as like, you're not, like you're the one stealing their creative ideas. And that's where this conflict is showing up, But really, with the Ten of Wands sitting there, to me, it feels like, you were trying to continue the good things that were happening here. But all of a sudden, it's like there's this feeling of being like turned against almost, And you need to be careful here with that Seven of Swords, because to me, it's almost a warning. It's a warning that if you're not careful here, it may be you, or it may be the other people around you that are feeling like there's some stealing here of ideas. Creative ideas is what I feel like, And again, with the Seven of Swords, you need to protect what's important to you, especially if you're involved in competition. Man, oh man, Aries, I don't know what the hell you have going on with the people around you, but that Six of Swords is definitely going to help you. It's going to help you get away from these conflicts and these conflicting situations. I mean, there's this feeling of being stuck and needing to take that blindfold off, walk your path, needing to move away from conflict. It's just, and there's confusion. Wow. It's overwhelming to even look at it. You've done such good work and you're wanting to continue to celebrate that, but man, you pushed it a little bit too hard here. And again, with you coming in with the energy of the Seven of Swords and that being what's being projected out is not a good thing. It's not a good thing on either side. In your environment, justice. And that's good to see, because justice is saying that, not only do you need to make amends for the wrongs that you may have done, but it's also letting you know that justice isn't blind. The universe eventually corrects the wrongs that may be happening. But, you need to trust in that. You can't have this mentality of, well, these people better get what they deserve. No, you need to trust that everything will be corrected. But more importantly here, especially with you coming in with this feeling of the Seven of Swords, you need to make amends for whatever wrongs you may have done as well. But again, there's also this need to protect what's important to you here, especially with that Five of Wands sitting there, But again, with justice, Make amends for the wrongs that you may have done, and know that eventually the universe is going to swing around and correct everything. So whether it's you or it's somebody else, it will be corrected. And that being in your environment it's saying that it's going to happen during the month of March. There's going to be amends that are going to be made for the wrongs that are being done here, especially the wrongs that are being done to you, because being overwhelmed, being afraid, and having this confusion, yeah, it's time for justice to step in and correct these issues. For sure. Your hopes and your fears, the 10 of Swords, and it makes sense. So there is a hope here that there will be this conclusion. There's going to be this ending, and it may be painful. And then when you look at this card too, and this is what I love about this deck, it gets into detail with these cards. You can see the person running away. So it's like you're being released from whatever painful situation you're dealing with, especially involving people around you. It's time to get up now. It's like being pinned down by your situation. Like, you can't do that to yourself. There needs to be an ending here and a closure of this conflict that's creating this overwhelming feeling and you wanting to get the hell away from it. And again, with the 10 of Swords, there's nowhere to go but up. It's time to get up now. You have to get up. You have to accept the ending of this situation so that you can move forward here. But I really feel like, especially now, seeing that in your hopes and your fears, it's like whatever conflict that you have involving the people around you right now, where before they may have been seeing you in this fantastic light here and applauding you, it's like now things have changed. And you're just overwhelmed by it. But still, that 7 of Swords, that being what's being projected out in the way that people view you and the way that you see yourself, that's two-sided. You're protecting what's important to you, but then at the same time, there could be people that are looking at you like you're just a shitty person, which is not the truth here. Not with the 10 and the 8. And whatever wrongs that you've done, they will be corrected. But more importantly, seeing justice, especially underneath that 10 of Swords, is saying that there will be amends made here. The wrongs that have been done to you will be corrected. But you have to have faith in that. And you have to get up. You got to get up now. You got to get up. You got to move away from this conflict. And then that is where the feeling of the 4 of Wands is going to come in. When you get up and you start doing the work that you need to do to get away from these harmful situations, that's when you can start to celebrate. And the outcome, the King of Wands, and that's perfect, because there you are. You come out of this with this feeling of, you know what? I'm going to create my own way, and I'm going to do my own thing. And there's wisdom here. It's like you've learned from this situation that's going on. That's fantastic. To see you come out as the King of Wands out of all of this says to me that, you will get to that feeling of the 4 of Wands, that this will be realized here. When you get up, you take that blindfold off, you move away from this conflict, and do not worry about the way that people are seeing you right now. And remember to protect what's important to you. But justice, everything will be corrected here. Everything will be corrected. And you're going to come out of this feeling adventurous again, getting back to that feeling of Aries, getting ready to take a new path. Charting a new course for yourself here. And there's wisdom here. And there's adventure and passion and fire and drive. And that's perfect. That is exactly where you need to be out of this. So where before it feels like you were being recognized for the work that you're doing, things just did not turn out the way that you were expecting it to. But coming out of March, I feel like things are going to change for you drastically, where whatever you're dealing with is going to be corrected. I love seeing justice sitting there in your environment, because that means it's going to happen. The universe is going to swing back around and it's going to correct the issues that are being done here. That 10 of Swords, you got to get up. You have got to get up. The same thing with the 8 of Swords. Take that blindfold off. You have to do this in order to get to that feeling of the King of Wands. mysticism. And perfect. So I really feel like whatever you're dealing with here for the month of March, these three are going to be really important to you right now. So you may feel like you're in this like nightmare phase of your life. You need to trust in the unknown and trust that the universe will correct the issues that are being made here. And with the moon, you need to pay attention to your intuition. It's the same thing with mysticism, trusting in the unknown, trusting in your intuitive nature to help you deal with the conflict that may be going on around you. But you need to be careful here, and I just feel like it needs to be said, with the people that you are involved with. Be careful with how you treat these situations. And I truly believe that the Six of Swords here is going to help you during this month. That is what you need to do. You need to get away from that conflict before it escalates to the point where there's fear and there's this feeling of being stabbed in the back or feeling like you're being pinned down by this situation. So please, 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 Aries, pay attention to your intuition here, because I really feel like it's going to guide you in the right direction in dealing with the conflict that you're going to be going through for March. All right, Aries, so what I feel like right now is that during the month of March, you're going to be dealing with some competition. There's going to be some people around you, and maybe even specifically a person that is not willing to hear your ideas and not willing to work with you. And what ends up happening is you feel like you have just been spread too thin. You are carrying way too much. And I really feel like what's happening here, the more that I look at this, is that when we've talked about Aries before, and we've talked about your compassion and your willingness to do things for other people, it's almost like you've been taken advantage of here, which would explain why the Seven of Swords is what's being projected out. And again, here, you need to protect what's important to you and not let people take from you what you have to offer here. Because truly, when you're set out to help somebody else, you're doing it because it makes you feel good, not so that somebody else can take advantage of you. And this is kind of what I feel like here, because it's like you were recognized. You were recognized for the wonderful things that you were doing. Right? And again, there's this feeling of needing to be humble. And I feel like that is truly what you're trying to carry with you. But other people, again, are causing some conflict. I feel like somebody is taking advantage of your kindness. And there is this feeling of not understanding why. And I really feel like the Six of Swords is going to be what helps you through the month of March. You need to get away from that. If people are going to take advantage of your kindness, it is time to get away from that. And, I feel like what happens here is that not only do you get back to who you are, being adventurous and charting a new course for yourself, you're going to celebrate the work that you have done in getting away from this conflict in your life. And having this feeling of people abusing your kindness is what I feel like. And I pulled a clarifier for the King of Wands, and what you pulled here was the Seven of Wands. This to me is that I'm not taking any more shit. Bring it on. You're ready to continue fighting for your passions and what you think is the right thing to do, even though somebody else is trying to cause you some horrible shit. And it would make sense with the Eight of Swords. You need to get up. You need to get up. Do not be afraid. Get away from this conflict. This is a time to walk away. This is not a time for you to get involved with any more of it. When it comes to taking a stand, you need to make sure that the people around you know that I'm not doing anything for you anymore if you're going to take advantage of my kindness. And chart that new course for yourself. But the big thing out of all of this is justice. And then looking at that with nightmare and thinking about protection, yes, the universe is going to correct whatever issues are going on here. Whatever wrongs have been done to you, you have to let them go and know that with the justice sitting in your environment, that the universe is going to correct this for you. But then the other big thing here is looking at all three of these. You really need to start paying attention to your intuition here when it comes to people around you and what you're willing to offer them. And I really feel like with Nightmare and Justice, that protection is going to be there for you. But Mysticism and the Eight of Swords, do not be afraid of the unknown, especially when you're in the process of moving away from this conflict. Because truly, I feel like this is what is going to help you this month.